Time jiggle, spotted, there it is, removed, 10 seconds left, spikes in no man's land, and it's sealed up, it's done, it's dusted.
We saw Furia clutch themselves a spot in the playoffs despite a losing record in the regular season, all thanks to a week number 8 dub against the Sentinels. Will Cloud9 get redemption against Loud whenever they inevitably meet in that upper bracket? And who's going to be lucky number 3 when it comes to VCT Americas for Tokyo? Let's go ahead and do what it do. Power 5. Do what it is, your boy.
They call me Q cause I'm always on cue. Cause I look like everyone at two. But keep in mind that I'll always be Q. And if you see me any different, then homie, that's cool.
Now, as far as last week's results, we'll go ahead and put them right here up on the screen for you guys. 3-2 for the weeks as far as pick 'em for your boy. Not too bad, nothing crazy. Still positive, just like we've been pretty well all year long. So let's go ahead and see if we can get ourselves a perfect pick 'em when it comes to the playoffs.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me?
Hey, stop it.
I'm off to a pretty good start when it comes to Pacific at the time of recording this, but before we do get started, you gotta remember, in VCT Americas, our teams only get 3 spots for Tokyo and Champions, unlike EMEA we talked about just a couple of days ago here on the channel. And while it does seem to be a race for third, I think there's a lot of debate as far as who sits at the top when it comes to the region between Loud and Cloud9. So this week's playoffs should be a bunch of fun. Woo! By the way, if it's your first time through over here on the channel, what up? I do almost daily esports news, updates, you name it, including every region when it comes to VCT. So if you're looking for a good place to keep up with everything when it comes to LAN season approaching, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn those notifications on. That way we can catch y'all right back here. But let's go ahead and get to these playoff pick'ems here for VCT Americas. Now, this week's playoff games are absolutely huge because it's all about qualifying for Masters as well as for Champs. And for Leviathan, it starts with a Week 2 rematch against Furia. And while Furia did win the regular season matchup and Leviathan did limp into the playoffs, I'm going to go ahead and lean towards Leviathan in a close one. NRG and EG will run it back as far as last week's matchup. Maybe Evil Geniuses gets themselves like a redemption map, right? But I do think that it is still NRG that has a point to prove when it comes to VCT Americas, and I think they walk away with a dub in this matchup. Now, that Leviathan versus Loud matchup at the beginning of the season sounded like an absolute banger of South American spice. But with the way that Leviathan has been looking recently, I do think that Loud moves on with ease. And when we talk about the other upper bracket semifinal matchup, I also expect Cloud9 to win their matchup against NRG. They beat them during Super Week, and that was before Cloud9 was the best team in the world. And of course, that's going to leave us with the matchup that I know I'm looking forward to the most. I'm pretty sure most of y'all are definitely looking forward to as well. That's going to be Loud versus Cloud9. They actually crossed paths in week number 2, shortly after the team had dropped Ye, and they were still kind of figuring out their identity, right? And they still took a map, and they kept it close. I think Cloud9 wins in what a lot of people will call an upset here in this matchup. So let's go ahead and figure out who's going to be meeting Cloud9 in the grand finals. Let's head to that lower bracket here where we start sending people home. And it does look like it's going to start with Furia in a loss to NRG. Furia got lucky to make it this far, but this is where the road ends for them. And that's going to leave us Leviathan versus Evil Geniuses in our other lower bracket first round action. And it's kind of weird to think as far as for Leviathan, a team that I kept in my top 3 of my Power 5 almost all season long, they're going to be walking away without winning a series in the playoffs. I don't know if this is going to be a situation where maybe they win themselves a map versus EG like they did in week number 5, but I do think that it is going to be Evil Geniuses that walks away with the dub. And that's going to bring us to EG versus NRG to decide who's number 3 when it comes to VCT in the Americas region.
That was awesome.
A rematch of our Week 8 matchup, which saw NRG walking away with a sweep. I love the bounce back story of EG. Maybe they get themselves into Champions during the LCQ run, but unfortunately, no Tokyo for them. Go ahead and give me NRG in 3. And as much as I would love to see NRG be able to repeat their success from week number 7 against Loud, I do think that Loud is still just a bit better than NRG as a whole, and they'll have a point to prove when it matters the most, especially because they're going to want to try and get redemption against Cloud9. So go ahead and give me Loud in a banger. And of course, that in turn brings us right back to that matchup we saw a couple of days prior in that upper bracket finals. Cloud9 versus Loud. Running it back once again, as much as I would love to tell you that Loud is a team that you don't beat twice in a row, especially that close together. I do think that Cloud9 really is the best team in the world, and over the course of the next couple of weeks, they're going to prove exactly why that is. But I want to know who you guys are taking in VCT Americas playoffs, YouTube. Who are 3 teams that will represent the region at Masters? Let me know down in those comments below. Remember those comments along with those likes that y'all leave to let me know that y'all are enjoying the content are the 2 things that really help me out with that YouTube algorithm as we're chasing down that first 1,000 subscribers. So tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody about it. Until we catch y'all back over here on the channel for the next one, man, don't forget, with everything crazy going on in the world today, be true, be you, be sincere, game hard and love hard. All right, y'all? It's your boy Q, signing out.